Hi all. My name is Dr. Jodie Fahey, and I teach organic chemistry. And I just wanted to share with you a couple thoughts from my perspective, which I feel is a little bit different, being as though I'm in science. And so, when this whole coronavirus hit, and we switched to online learning in the spring, I think pre the pandemic, I don't think many faculty, I know many faculty in my division in particular, but I don't think many faculty across the country who teach science were very prepared to switch their class within 48 hours from a very hands-on learning approach into an online approach. And in science, what makes us a little different than some of the other majors is that we have lab that is required part of most of the chemistry courses that are offered. And the objectives for the laboratory course in particular are things that have to be done in person with specialized glassware, instruments, equipment, and they're all demonstratable. So students, can demonstrate that they can set up various techniques. Students demonstrate that they can create a product in a high percent yield. Those things are really hard to reproduce and actually do and hit those learning objectives when the students are at home. And unlike some possibly lower level chemistry courses where you can order lab kits, organic chemistry uses very specialized glassware that's really expensive and not possible for students to have at home. And so this really complicates the switch to online learning. And so I can tell you from my perspective, when we switched, I was not as worried about my lower level nursing chemistry class switching to online, but I was really concerned about how do I switch organic chemistry, a majors level course that prepares students to take biochemistry, prepares students for the MCAT in the future. How do I switch that to online learning? And I think the resistance to that, it was really high at first. And I think despite the pandemic, there's always going to be challenges. I don't think it's possible to always switch everything to just strictly online learning. So regardless of what tools were used and learned, there's always going to be some limitations in certain majors, such as science, such as nursing with clinicals, such as education with student teaching. Certain things have to be done hands-on and in person. With that said, I want to emphasize that we've learned so much. Everybody has learned so much from this switch to online, and we've all learned a lot of new and useful tools that can really help us in the future. But I think it's important to note that one size doesn't fit all. And it's really hard for an institution to make a determination about how courses in general are run when you have these different majors that don't necessarily fit the model. And so it seems like decisions should be made with consideration to science and lab courses and nursing and clinicals. The other thing that I wanted to bring up was just what happened as a result of the switch. Yes, I was definitely hesitant to switch to online learning. I never saw organic chemistry as being a course that could be done online at all. However, I am happy to say that it is possible to do parts of organic chemistry online, and there's many new tools that I've learned and use now and plan to integrate in the future to help integrate more of an online learning component. And so that was a bit surprising for me because I really didn't expect any part of organic chemistry to fit into an online learning platform. And I was pleasantly surprised to find that it does. And there are bits and pieces that you can take. And I'm actually now working on completely flipping my classroom, which would have a much larger online presence so that I can use the videos I've been creating for student lectures, and I can use that class time, that face-to-face time, to work problems with them go through some of the more complex problems, mechanisms, multi-step syntheses. And I think that'll be really beneficial to my students in the long run. And, as weird as it is, I'm thankful to COVID because I think that was kind of the push that I needed to change my class and restructure my class. And I don't know that I would have done that without being forced to go online and learn how to use it. So, with that said, there's always a good and a bad. And, I've taken the good that I've learned from COVID and I plan to use it in the future. But like I said, I think it's important to recognize that not all courses can be completely online. And there always has to be that flexibility for face-to-face. Otherwise, course objectives just won't always be met.